Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of CineMinistries, the show where three friends who have known each other for a decade get to know themselves and each other a little more through the movies we love. We are going to go ahead and get started with our media mashup. So, Chad, as this was your pick this week, would you like to start off telling us what you love?
Josh, your microphone, at least from my end, is sounding a little muffled, so I'm going in and out a little bit.
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater.
Yeah.
I am. My house is flooded and I simply don't know what to do. Is this any better here? Hold on, let me.
There, that's better. That was better right there.
Do you want
are
me to redo the
Duncan
intro?
now. Yes, please.
Might as well. Why not?
Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of CineMinistries, the podcast where us three friends for over a decade get to know each other a little more through the media we consume. We're going to go ahead and get started with our media mashup. Chad, as this was your pick, how about you go ahead and start us off?
So last week I mentioned that I watched 2 shows and I picked one for last week, and this week I'm going to do the other one. But I watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And I'm going to tell you, I absolutely adore this show. It is.
If you give spoilers, let me know so I can take off my headset because we're about to start it probably tonight.
I won't spoil anything. I promise that. I'll set it up. You know, everything you're going to learn in the first 5 minutes of the show, and some direction as to where the plot's going. So, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is based on a book called The Hedge Knight. It is about a knight named Sir Duncan the Tall. He is recently a knight who is traveling to the town of Ashford for a tournament. His goal in this tournament is to win and basically get a job. Along the way, he meets a stable boy named Egg, who
Love it. I'm in.
who he takes up as a squire. And they get to the town of Ashford, and the hilarity ensues. As somebody who's consumed a lot of Game of Thrones media, it is a breath of fresh air. It isn't as dour as House of the Dragon. It isn't as long and plotting as Game of Thrones. It is just
A little more fun.
Yes, there's a lot of jokes, a lot of Dunk being a kind of oaf. He's a very tall person, and he kind of doesn't know how to use his limbs, sort of. And he is just trying to get into this tournament just to win, and that's all you need to know. Except I told one lie, and I hope you guys watch it so we can discuss the lie.
Ooh.
I
See,
don't think hilarity ensues.
I like the idea of it just being a little more lighthearted because like you compared it to the other two. Obviously there were supposed to be positive times in the kingdom, right? There's supposed to be moments where things weren't complete hell. So, well, at least to some.
And even if things are hell, there's got to be someone who's just like, whatever. Like, I'll figure.
I don't really follow politics.
Yeah, it's very like these aren't great lords. They're, like I said, Dunk is a hedge knight, and the difference between a regular knight and a hedge knight is a regular knight owns land and a hedge knight does not. So it's
feels like I might be a hedge knight.
there is so much to talk about with this show. I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
All right. I will definitely check it out.
Yep. Brennan, do you want to go next?
So what I've been watching this week, Well, actually, I would say I technically just finished it. So it was at first we were doing it every other Tuesday. So we had 2 episodes to watch. I was going over to my sister's house and we were watching the Peacock show Traders, which is a reality TV show. I'm not normally, I would say, a fan of reality TV, but I can see the appeal to it at times. You know, a little dose of it can be enjoyable. It's interesting people watching. You know, I can only do so much of it because it's the people are so detached from reality that, well, I guess it's similar to watching the news, but it's like, you know, their example would be like in a reality show, they're like two women would be fighting, and one will say, "You said this," and she'll say, "I never said that." Cut to clip of her saying verbatim that. And then like you think, well, okay, well, certainly you'll turn around. Nope, just double down. Never said it. Bitch, you're crazy. And like we'll keep showing that clip every episode. You know, and it's like there's the lack of accountability. But anyway, so we're watching the show Traders. It's very similar to the party game Mafia, to where there's 2 traders picked, and then they kill someone every night. And then during the day, they kind of have to. They eventually have a round table and discuss who to vote off that they think might be the traitor. There's not the other positions, like there's not the cop, there's not the nurse, which really there should be because the faithfuls are at an incredible disadvantage because they're really bad at this game. It's an entertaining show because you have Alan Cummings, who is the host. We don't deserve him. We don't deserve him on this show. The show's worth watching for his outfits alone, for his behavior alone. I mean, like he's fantastic. It's sad that no one else, like you'll see episodes where people will try to outdo him in their dress, which they can't, and no one like tries to do him in like the theatrics that he brings. And like it's kind of funny that they've got like he comes in and he's at a 10. They're in this beautiful castle. They've got these background actors and everything's set to be like, all right, play into it a little bit. Nope, the reality TV stars, they're themselves, which aren't really interesting people, but they're themselves. But it's like I said, we finished the season this past Tuesday. One thing I'll say about it is there's a lot of changes I'd make to it. Like if I watch it, I'm like, I got to get on this show just to pick it up. Just so I got to be a producer on this show. Just like we got to fix some shit. But the players will consistently be incredibly confident that so and so is a traitor. You know they're not. They vote them off. They're revealed that they're not a traitor, and they'll do this like half a dozen times in a row, getting the wrong person. And at no point does anyone on this show ever go, am I not good at reading people? There is not a single point where they ever question their abilities themselves. It is just, yeah, I was confident last week. I voted them off. I was wrong. Quick apology. Move on. Now I'm confident again about this person. I feel just as strong as I did. Wrong again. Oh, well, keep going. It's, I would say there's the show where it's the traders, and then they have like a little side thing where they do like try to earn money to win for a prize pot. But it doesn't work the money for me because I think there's a UK version, or even in the first season of the US version, they had average like Joes like that weren't famous on it. And that was nice because they actually gave a fuck about the money. Whereas they don't like the reality TV stars, the prize is being on the show. It's another day of work. You know what I mean? So they never mention like the money. And then when the show, because the money's point is because they already got it in gold bars for them. So they've already got the money in a form that they can't just liquidate. It's a very solid form. So they will get that money. It's it's not like, so the game starts off, you can win up to $250,000. You have nothing in the prize pot. During the challenges, you win money to put in the prize pot, and then the winners get the prize pot at the end. But the thing is, when they fail the challenges throughout the game, when we get to the final week, they just find a way to like, and if you guys can all jump up and not fall down, you get an extra $50,000. Like whatever they didn't get, they just find a way to get it to them at the anyway. It's you know, it's entertaining enough to watch. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna continue watching it because for Alan Cummings at least.
I haven't seen it. I've wanted to watch it, but I don't have Peacock. And I watched little updates through Ron Funch's social media because I love him. And
I want to make a side. I want to continue. I want to say something about that. Keep going.
Oh, that was basically it. It's just I love him. I think he's so funny, and hearing like the stories he tells about behind the scenes and like having to interact with Michael Rappaport and just being like, I hate this guy, and I've got to be friends with him for at least a minute. And like,
see,
awesome.
I also am like because I've seen Ron Funches all over TikTok, and so I was excited when I saw he was on it because I was like, oh, this, I've tried to. He's funny. He was not funny on the show.
Really? That's so sad.
There's
nothing worse when you really like someone and like you're a big fan of them and you show somebody or you see them get a big opportunity and they don't nail it and you're like, guys, no, I swear he's really good.
It wasn't even like, oh, he's bombing. It's like, no, he's not trying to be funny.
Oh, like he's really into the game instead of being.
It was just like he was just. It was like he was there. It was almost like he was like, I'm here to play the game. I'm not here to be funny. And it wasn't like he was that into the game, but it was just like, okay, well, I'm not seeing like if I didn't know he was a comedian, I wouldn't have thought he was a comedian. And if they had told me during it that he was a comedian, I would have been like, no, he's just he's done an open mic night probably or whatever. Like I wouldn't have thought he was good at comedy, but I think he's funny. But then on the show, I thought, like I said, I thought he dropped the ball. I thought he had an opportunity, to be funny, and I don't know, be invited back or something. But like I said, I was kind of disappointed with his performance on the show because there's even points where I think they kind of called him out for like being like kind of standoffish a little bit, and he responded by being more standoffish. Okay, that's an interesting one, but it's like I said, I would if you're looking for something where you just want something light, something where you can kind of make fun of the people while you're watching it, you enjoy the game Mafia a little bit, it's worth a watch.
Well, that honestly kind of leads in to what I was watching when you mentioned it might have been based off a British show, because this week I have decided to dive back into one of my favorite shows ever and have been watching season 15 of Taskmaster. There's a few seasons I haven't seen for one reason or another, and waiting for this upcoming season 21 with Kamal Nanjiani, who I love. I was like, let's go watch another one or two that I missed. And there are no bad seasons of this show. Even like the seasons people are like, it was one of the weaker ones. They're still so funny. This is a format. I see people saying, oh, I hope they make an American. I don't want an American version. We would fuck it up so bad. The British TV scene of these like series of game shows and comedy panel shows and everything is so unique and so perfectly like British that
British humor is a lot different. I mean, I feel like American humor is Gen Z humor. I feel like is actually very similar to 60s British humor, but
but I just mean like in America, like so. One of the great things about Taskmaster is there's a lot of comedians who, and it helps that I don't know most of these people. This season I just happened to watch because I saw Mae Martin, who I like, and I was like, yeah, okay. Whatever, we'll watch. But a lot of times you don't know these people, and I know they're popular in the UK, but I worry it would just turn into, and if it was America, it would basically just be like it's a Kill Tony game show where it's like the same 5 people, or you have these like huge, it turns into like a Mr. Beast game kind of thing. Like, I feel like the way we hype everything to such a high level, it would
turn into like a night show.
Yeah. But yeah, for those who don't know Taskmaster, it's a game show where there is a taskmaster who assigns just insane tasks for people to do that are often very meant to mess with the heads of the contestants. My favorite example to give people, and this was on a season with a comedian I know we both love, James Acaster, where They start in a room, and there are a series of cardboard boxes, large all the way to like very small, and they're given they open a card that has the task, and it says, in another room are 12 pairs of glasses. Pick the smallest box you think you can fit all 12 pairs of glasses in, and then head to the other room. Once you leave this room, you cannot go back. So whatever box you choose is what you choose. So you see them all choosing their box. They walk into the other room. There are pairs of drinking glasses on the table, and all of them have grabbed small boxes, assuming they were eyeglasses. And now they're struggling to figure out how they're going to fix the task. Or there's one where it's like, there's a little model of a river with two sides, and it says, okay, build a bridge over the river that can balance this like toy cow on it without falling. And they're struggling. There's like straws and string and everything on the table. And you watch them struggle for 10 minutes, and then the camera cuts under the table, and taped to the bottom of the table is a perfectly constructed bridge that they just need to set on top of it that no one sees because they're not looking under the table. And it's just a bunch of different stuff like that. They'll have to solve a puzzle and don't realize the solution's written on the wall behind them. And there's just so many little, just like it's just so fun. And you watch these people just embarrass themselves. Another great season, Jason Mantzoukas was on, and his whole thing as the first American contestant, he said, was destroy, dismantle, and like burn down. I forgot what the third word he used was, but he was his usual agent of chaos at this show. And it is so unbelievably funny. Every season is great. I recommend, if anyone's in, just like look through the cast of each season. Wait until you see a name you recognize and go, perfect, that one. And jump in. They're all free on YouTube, which is awesome. They upload like weekly onto YouTube as the show's airing live. So it's very accessible, very watchable, and just lighthearted, stupid fun that is perfect for any time.
See, I definitely don't want that to come to America because it'll turn into Jimmy Fallon and whatever dumb movies coming out, and it'll be the two actors who are pretending that they love each other for the 3 months before the movie comes out.
And that brings to like the point. The best part about the show is the only two constants are the Taskmaster, Greg Davies, and his sidekick, Little Alex Horn. And the dynamic they have, where Greg is this just maniacal, power-tripping monster, and Alex is just this little cowardly whipped man who does whatever the Taskmaster asks. And he's Alex is the one with all the people doing the tasks, keeping time, keeping score, all of that. And he is so good. He created the show. It used to be a live show he did, and then they turned it into a TV show. New Zealand has a version, and Australia have a version. Both of those are pretty good. I've watched a couple of those seasons too, but just the original with Greg and Alex is untouchable.
Is there a season you'd recommend to start? Or just to check out?
Let me double check which one it was. I would say either 19 with Jason Mantzoukas, or I believe it is series 7 with James Acaster. And that's the thing. I'm wrong. It's not. I'm not watching season 15. I'm watching series 15 because it is a British TV show and they say series instead of season. Fancy. But yeah, it's. I can't recommend it enough. It's so much fun. I think you both would love it. Yeah, Taskmaster. Good stuff.
Does that bring us to the film of the week?
It absolutely does. Chad, take it away.
Yeah, so when I chose this as one of the options, I was like, I wasn't kind of rooting against it, but I was like, it's not my first choice of which one, I want them to pick, but
so naturally we picked it.
Yeah. So this is a definite personal problem, but I have a hard time like going back to movies and watching them again. Like sometimes I'm like, I know how this ends. I'm not going to watch it. So I was kind of having that feeling until I hit like start on this movie. And then instantly I'm like, oh, there's a reason why I love this movie. It's just however many minutes of the runtime just in a shit show on wheels. It just constantly moves, and I really enjoyed that. All of the performances are great, and yeah, I was like, oh, like I said, I wasn't like looking forward to watching it, but then as soon as I started it, I was all in again, and yeah, I was more wondering what you guys were thinking.
Well, I'll go into it. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like when I was a kid, it was like I would put a movie on. When I was a kid, especially when we had VHS, we'd have to get me. I'd have multiple of the same movie, which we did
Same.
anyway. But I'd have multiple of it because I'd have one where I'd watch it, and then they'd have another one where they're like, okay, well, while it's rewinding, we can another one and set them up, you know, because I would just watch it on loop, and then at some point when I got older, it felt more like, and it feels the same way sometimes when I write something, like I can't go back and reread it immediately because in my head I feel like I've got it too. I feel like I've got the outline or the gist of the story so much in my head that I'm not actually gonna reread it. I'm not actually gonna be rewatching it if I'm watching it. I'm gonna be more like on an autopilot skimming it. You know, so I get what you mean by that. But I also had this the exact same when I put this one on because the pacing of this movie is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It does, you know, it's an hour and 49 minutes, but it's nonstop.
Feels like 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's nonstop. There are points where it does make me sometimes be like, Jesus Christ, they have actually a lot of fucking time before the show starts. But I love the pace that it moves at. I love that they're keeping track of the time, kind of letting you know going up until the episode, up until the first episode. The casting, as I said, I mentioned it last week when we announced the show. I love the casting. I don't know any of them, and I love it because you're not supposed to know any of them. Like you are because you know the original crew of SNL, but in terms of like in this time period in the movie, you're not supposed to know these people. So and I mean, just to go through, I mean, they got a wonderful one guy for Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he's great.
He was fantastic.
My second favorite Chevy Chase casting. It's the best one, but my favorite is in the National Lampoon, where they tell the story of the National Lampoon, and they have Joel McHale play Chevy Chase, just because that's awesome. That's just fun. This was better. This was much better. But the nostalgia and community love of me made me like that one more. So every time he mocked Chevy, it was coming from hate.
But he would have made. He also, even if it wasn't for the great backstory, he would make a good Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, they found a great Chevy Chase. Dan Aykroyd, the guy they had for Dan Aykroyd, I thought was fantastic. I mean, fantastic.
Was that Dylan O'Brien?
I'd have to. Let me look
Most of, and that's like the biggest actor they got was Dylan O'Brien for that movie.
And so much so that it almost like didn't take me out of it because he was great. But every time I was like, "Hey, Dylan O'Brien, I love him." So it was just that little bit of.
I think my favorite. I think the guy they got for Lorne Michaels, Gabriel LaBelle. That Cooper. Oh, Cooper Hoffman was in this. He played.
Two straight Cooper Hoffmans for me.
I didn't realize that.
I just have to off that say one of my notes was just that guy's fucking electric, man.
Yeah.
Every time he's on screen, I'm just so I'm buying in 100%. I loved him in this.
Yeah, let me tell you who I thought was really good though was Nicholas Braun, playing two characters, both Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice that either.
I thought he did great with both of them. I thought they did wonderful with Kaufman, having him just kind of like this kind of subtle background bouncing around. Just there he is. Oh, forgot where'd he go? There he is. Jim Henson. I thought he was great as Jim Henson. The note that I have is, how did Nicholas Braun manage to play Andy Kaufman without losing his mind and pretending to be Andy Kaufman reincarnated? How did he do it? You know what I mean? I didn't think it was possible. The way Jim Carrey portrayed it, you would think that it was Andy Kaufman was just some spirit vessel waiting to be, I don't know. It was, but I thought he was great in it. I would love to know how much truth there is to this.
Yeah.
Was it really planned? I mean, did they really plan the show thinking it was going to be maybe not necessarily the night of, but like, was it really originally going to be that big? Did they really have that many acts and performances? Was everyone really there? Not maybe planning to be there for the first night. Like maybe they didn't make the decision the night of, but like, was everyone ready? Like, did they have access to all those people ready to go week one? Like Jim Henson was there. Andy Kaufman was there. I mean, I know George Carlin was there, but like there's, Billy Crystal was there, I'd love to know that. I'd love to know like how much truth there is in it. Cause I thought it was, cause I just loved it. I thought they did a great job showing the chaos of, the show, using it to introduce all the famous people, using it for the pacing and just, let's see, that's the guy who played Billy Crystal is wonderful. I will say this. I say this, hesitantly, I guess, because I never I wouldn't say I've done like some true deep dive on his work to really give it the most fair, I guess, critique. But I feel like I've never been a huge fan of John Belushi. Or just, I guess, I don't know. I guess the stuff I've seen of him, I just was like, not to say that I was like, oh, this is bad, but I've always been like, I feel like he's been just overhyped to me, maybe. Like it would kind of like a certain prestige going into something, and then I'd watch it and it was just kind of like, maybe it was more of like in the era, in the moment type thing, that I needed to be. But I thought like they have some moments where they'd show their comedy, like them trying to be funny in their world, not just for the movie we're watching. And some of them I thought were really wonderful. And then some of them I was just kind of like, where they would act like it was like this revolutionary moment in comedy. I was kind of just
like the Mighty Mouse bit when they were like, show us what Saturday night is. And
I
he
actually
does that.
oddly liked the Mighty Mouse bit just because of the timing of it. Whereas for me, it was more like, it was some of the Belushi bits where I was kind of just like,
So the only Belushi I've really seen is Animal House. But I agree. It's like even Animal House, I'm like, I get why this is important. Like historically, it's one of those comedies that like means a lot to comedy. And I get that. It's just not, I've never seen, and I've seen some of other movies he's in, but yeah, it's never been something where I'm like, and we might get flamed for that take. But yeah, it's just not personally for, I get it, but it's just not for me.
I feel the same. I would say like he's The Blues Brothers is a good movie. I feel like I don't think about it as much as I know it's a comedy, but I don't think about it as a comedy, I guess. I don't know what I think about it as. It's a fun movie. I know it is a comedy, but I guess I don't think of it as like a laugh out loud comedy. I just think of it as like a fun 80s movie. I don't know. Winston is having a panic attack on the couch, wanting my attention. I'm sorry, buddy. This is every Thursday. He's not used to the consistency yet.
He's like, you typically quit by now.
He's like, you're never gonna make it.
That should be the tagline.
I love the bit between the guy they have for what's his name, Michael Donahue.
Yeah.
Him and Carlin.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the stuff you watch, Carl, like when I grew up watching Carlin was really big for me. And when I grew up watching him, it was towards the end of his career, and I was introduced to him by my father, and like he was always been very prestigious to me. But then like I've seen stuff like through documentaries that like he's had a few moments in his career where he was kind of like kind of like not like a joke, but like he was kind of, he was a punchline every now and then. He was kind of predictable in what he was doing, and he was easy to, kind of make fun of sometimes. So kind of see, this wasn't necessarily at that point in his career, but kind of seeing like some of the, he wasn't just like, revered in his time. He had, like the line where he calls living off the corpse of Lenny Bruce. I thought that was, when he attacks him about the acting, which he really wanted to be an actor. And when he attacks him about the Lenny Bruce thing, which, obviously he was, he's very, really took up kind of the mantle of Lenny Bruce in a lot of ways. Didn't nearly take any of the hits Lenny took. But the other note I have is, William Dafoe's character isn't wrong about not wanting the show to go on right now. It's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show right now. There is a fire. People, your lighting guys gone. Your sound's all fucked up. You don't actually have the show you have outlined is 2 hours too long. There were so many points where I was also like, it's like a mixture of because I do, the writing portion of making films and stuff, but I also do just the actual, I do the first AD work. So it's like it's more of like just the actual practicality of like making the film. And like, just like the more like, I feel like it's more of like I describe it as more of like an on-set, like working foreman type thing, making sure everyone's on time and, safety. So it's like, I can see like on both of being like, well, look at all the stuff we have at our disposal, and we don't know what the show's going to be, and we're going to figure it out as we go. And the other part of me is like, we've got we have 5 minutes right here, and then the doors close at this time, and we've got to be the fuck out of here at this time, and everyone's got to go home. But like I said, I'd love to know how much was true. I was, and I, also about this film, just show you the pacing. When J.K. Simmons can whip out his penis and it doesn't throw the movie off, that's a testament to everyone involved. That derails many trains.
Was that the end of your? Okay. So there was a point where I'm like, man, I really kind of fucked up this episode because I didn't take like that many notes, but it's because like once that train ride started, I was like, didn't have time because this was my first time watching it. Once it starts, I just like didn't have time to stop and think about anything else. Once like it goes and it does not slow down until like the ice skating scene with John Belushi. And even that is only for a moment before it's like, all right, back in it. So I do want to say, just to continue our theme that we've had going on for a while, regrettably, I think this is just our lane now and we have to stick to it. Lorne married his wife when he was 22 and she was 17. So we're continuing our series of inappropriate age relationships.
Is she 17 in the movie?
We're watching.
She's 17 working on SNL in the movie?
No, that's like 20 years later.
Married, they were married a little before. But
you know how old they are in the movie? Because they're
she's definitely older than 18 at that point.
Yeah, like late 30s.
No, I meant more. I'm just curious how early they got to that point in their careers.
That I don't know.
Yeah, they were married in like the 60s.
And see how old Lauren is now, subtract the 50 and go from there. I'm going to say something controversial here. I can't believe I'm saying this because he's one of my favorite people. Didn't love Willem Dafoe in this one.
Really?
Something about his role he felt miscast. I almost would have preferred, and obviously with it being historical and me not knowing anything about the guy he's playing, maybe, I don't think it's possible for another person to look like Willem Dafoe, but maybe he looked similar enough to where that's why they cast him. I would have kind of preferred they flipped him and J.K. Simmons parts.
I can see that.
Something about Willem Dafoe in that role felt off. in a way that, and
think
maybe
it
it
would've
was
been-
because he was the most famous person like on the screen at any given point, you know, like you said, it was a lot of less recognizable people. Also, Willem Dafoe was here. But yeah, there was just something I didn't fully.
I think it might be
buy.
more that William Dafoe is
Willem.
always going to be William Dafoe when you see him.
Well, he's never going to be William Dafoe.
And he's not going to be William DeFriend. And the thing that you like you said, like he is not only is he the only like true. I mean, I'm not saying other people aren't famous in the actual movie, but like he's the most recognizable. Like, so he really stands out. So I get what you mean by that. And I also feel like do you think it's a factor that at least in terms of the show, the last you just saw him in a much more artistic role, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
I also think this one felt like sort of like I talked about when we did the Florida Project. I could feel him acting in this one at some points. There were some like line deliveries where I'm like, that was like the third take. And he was given like a say it like this kind of thing. Like it just felt that way.
Yeah.
And not just like, it's not like, oh, he was bad. It's just something didn't connect with his performance with me, which I hate. I don't like, I hate that I'm saying this and I hate that I feel that way because I love him. I will say, so I, watching this for the first time, immediately after watching this, went and watched the first episode of Saturday Night. Like the full episode, just like rolled right into it. And that was awesome. I do have to say, kind of wild this show took off like it did. That first episode is rough. The Jim Henson bit has no business being on that show. It's not very funny. It's bizarre. It doesn't fit anything else going on around it. The sketches are all roughly 30 seconds to a minute long. The bee sketch, I was waiting and waiting and waiting for this bee sketch because the whole movie, it's like, we got to have the bee costume. We got to do this. The sketch is 30 seconds long, and I'm going to quote to you the entire sketch. They're in a hospital. A nurse walks out holding a baby bee. All these men are in bee costumes. She goes, Mr. B? One of them comes up and goes, yes. She goes, congratulations, it's a drone. And they all cheer and clap. She does that 3 times, and then she comes up and goes, Mr. B? And Belushi goes, yes. And she goes, congratulations, it's a worker. And they all go, oh, man, I'm so sorry. And they, like, pat him on the back and everything. And then they go, tune in for next week's, and it's Mr. B, and Chevy Chase walks up, and she goes, congratulations, she's a queen. And they all freak out because they're so impressed. And that's the whole thing. It lasts 30 seconds. It's nothing. The whole movie hyped it up like it was going to be so
SNL
much.
doesn't have the balls to make that one today.
Yeah. I will say one big takeaway. The song Nothing from Nothing, incredible. That went into playlist right away. I've listened to it a few
That one,
times.
actually, I put that one in, but you know what else I put one in? I put the other one that they played by Janice Ian. I thought that was a really nice one. The more melodic one, at 17, I put that one in too. I enjoyed
that
it.
one I haven't added yet, but all the music was great. Yeah, the guy who played Chevy and Al Brooks, both of them, it's like, holy hell. Why do we need AI when these guys could just be them? That's like, we don't need an AI Chevy Chase. We got one. He's real.
Yeah. Wouldn't you guys have preferred a de-aged, much slower, geriatric moving, but young looking Chevy Chase? You know?
The line when he's introduced and he trips over the garbage can and goes, sorry, tripped on my penis. And like, it is fun watching it and being like, fuck you, Chevy Chase. I love what I'm seeing, but like, wherever you are, fuck you. Like, it's just, it's.
I do love the line where they're like, when the one writer is describing what he predicts Chevy's life's going to look like, whatever, he's like, and then you're going to be drunk and jump out of a window of a hotel. And he's like, that's not bad. Not a bad way to go, whatever. Or something to that effect, like he's into it. I wish, honestly,
hold on, I got a couple more here. Knock on this movie. It's a simple one. Not enough Rachel Sennott, or however you pronounce her last name. I adore her. I think she's incredible. And her limited role made me sad because when I saw she was in this, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then she was rarely in it. But also, I'm not going to talk about like all the sketches off the full episode, but there's a one other sketch I want to bring up that I can see why they didn't talk about this in the movie. It starts with like a political meeting, and they're like, "Breaking news today: as Israel and Georgia have agreed to change places." And I thought it was the country. It's the state of Georgia has agreed. You have the governor of Georgia and the leader of Israel have agreed to swap locations. And the governor of Georgia is like, the people of Georgia look forward to a dry heat free of humidity. And it's just like they're all talking about the things they're excited for. And it's so good. And it's like, oh my gosh, it was awesome.
I don't know if it's extra funny or extra sad when political humor still works so many years later.
This is a bad joke, but if that did happen and Georgia and Israel switched, I don't think things would get better in the Middle East.
No. But things would be worse here.
True. Somehow that's possible.
Atlanta would be rough.
Yeah, the people of South Carolina, watch out. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. That nonstop thrill ride, I was so into it, and just like a fascinating story. Again, I do wonder how much is true, but also like a show that's gone on for 50 years. I don't think there's anyone at this point who could tell that story, because I imagine the myth of it all has been built up so much and added to and added to and added to, that it's like, I'm fine if they exaggerate a little bit of stuff, because it's for all of us, as long as we've been alive, Saturday Night Live has been an entity and like a pillar of comedy and entertainment. Even when it was at its worst, it was still like, I knew who was hosting, I knew who the band was, I knew the one sketch that was good every month.
Yeah, there's always a good sketch. Weekend Update was always good.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they just put out the promo. I think I sent it to you on TikTok for this upcoming week with Ryan Gosling hosting. It is so funny. It's so good.
Ryan Gosling, he's great on the show. You know who's really great on the show? Ariana Grande. If you haven't seen her 2 episodes, you're missing out. She does
better than you would expect.
Like, to the point where you're like, damn, she could have been a cast member and would have been good. You know what I mean? Like, she's got the one where she does there's 2 that I really like. There's one where she does, it's like it's Celine Dion introducing UFC. And then she just does a great impersonation. And then she does this other one where she's like a mother, and she's having like a game night, and her son brings home his new boyfriend, and it's why am I blanking on his name? The Asian guy. But he and they start like fighting, and she's like starts getting like real competitive and like threatening him and like attacking his penis. Like just gets like really like this sweet mother just gets aggressive out of nowhere when the game starts playing. Like it's, I don't know. I'm not doing it justice, obviously, but I definitely would watch her 2 episodes that she's been on twice, I think, in the last like 3 or 5 years. But no, they're great. I tell you what I would have liked for this movie. I think I would have liked, and obviously I say this knowing that it would have just thrown off the pacing of it, because the pacing was, consistent throughout. I would have liked maybe a little bit more time spent understanding Belushi, because he was such a his emotions and his like temperamental, how temperamental he was very pivotal, like kind of a center of this movie for a lot of it. And but I didn't find myself giving a fuck. I kind of just was like, what is the issue?
See, I wonder with that, because I kind of felt the same way. I wonder if that's because we're watching in the future where we know he goes to the show. Like, we know he does it. We know it works. And I wonder if that bit of tension relief sort of made it to where it's like, I don't care that John Belushi, he's just gone. He'll be back. Like, whatever.
It's almost like that. I wish it was like how Nate Bargatze says that he watches all history movies on the edge of his seat because he's so uneducated or something like that. Like so little about what's going to happen. I that's I guess what would be a benefit going into this of not knowing like what's he gonna do. Of just really like was John Belushi, he's gonna go out there. We're just gonna watch him kind of mope around. I feel like they could have maybe played up, which they did a little bit, but I feel like they could have made it more, because he's such a quiet character. I feel like they could have maybe stressed a little more about maybe his insecurities with Chevy, or maybe Chevy's being an antagonist towards him. I don't know. Obviously, the movie was more focused on all of the things going on to get Saturday Night Live off the ground for the first episode.
Yeah.
And I would say jealousy is what I felt watching the episode the entire time, the movie the entire time. It was just jealousy of just watching, like, I wouldn't call it necessarily a well-oiled machine in this episode, but it's just so
knowing what it's become.
The resources they have at their fingertips.
Watching the guy brick the stage, like make that
just thing. Like we need a llama, like we need that. Just having access, just I envy the pace. Just watch, like I've got an idea. We're gonna go to it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna cut. Just like I love the fast pace, and it was just, watching it was just like, oh man, to be in this environment for creatively would be awesome. Would be such a benefit and just such an enjoyment to be able to experience this.
I have one little missed opportunity thing. I wish, because at one point, you see Finn Wolfhard out there trying to get people to come see it. And at the end, he shows the lobby is full of people. And he's like, hey, yeah, we sold it out. And he goes, oh my gosh, like, what'd you say to get him in here? And he goes, well, I had to lie a little bit, but they're here. And I'm like, I want to know what he said. I want to know what the lie was that got him. It would have been
cool to see him cut to like something like him saying something crazy, like
or even just as Lauren walks down the hall, have someone be like, I can't wait to see, and then something that's definitely not going to be there, or like.
No, I agree with that. That would have been another thing I would say that, and this is I'll say something I noticed in this movie, and I noted. Well, actually, I feel like I've noticed in. I don't know if I say all the movies we've watched, but I can say I've noticed it in 2 or 3 for sure. And I'll bring up the points, which is number one. In this one, you've got 2 moments. You've got where, first off, the guy, what gig where you can get $7 a joke or whatever? That sounds crazy.
Especially then. Yeah, today that would be great.
How do you even get that job? I don't understand that, but whatever. That was that whole character, and I was okay, cool, but whatever. And then the guy who, the lightning guy that they get with like the worst speech you could give to get a job pitch, like you'll be fired tomorrow, but you'll always have to work and you won't get paid. And but we're like, the guy's like, I'm in. And then also in the movie, Inglourious Bastards, where the guy who had been working supposedly his entire life at this movie theater is on a whim ready to blow it up to kill the Nazis. Or all the different jobs that you jump around in at 15, not just jobs, careers in Licorice Pizza. Man, the economies used to be so much better. Where people were just ready to jump ship at any moment, for no promise at all of anything. Like I'll figure work out. Support myself. That's not the issue. I'll figure it out. We'll get work. Occupied Nazi France. Not a big deal. Burn it down. That's all I know. Burn it down. I'll get a job. Yeah, I don't know. What a time to be in.
Yeah, maybe I missed a week, but I don't remember watching Inglourious Bastards for this show.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Inglourious Bastards is the media mashup that I brought up last week.
Okay.
But yeah, I just just something I thought about of just like I can't imagine, like I have done it, I guess, but like I can't, I also can't imagine someone walking up and like, I can offer you no pay, no promise or anything. Do you want to come leave this? The only thing that's making you money is allowing you to eat at this moment. Sure, let's do it. I'm in New York City. What do I need money for? What do I need guaranteed pay for or income? Anyway, it was just a thought, just a little thought of envy that I had while watching it. That and the $7 jokes. But that's all I've really got from the movie. Do you want to jump to the other segment you were talking about, Josh?
I still got a little bit.
Chad close us out here.
A couple things that we haven't gone over. The what's her title? Like the lady who has the final say on what goes into the show, like what jokes are too inappropriate.
Yes. Oh, like the I don't remember the
Standards
name
and practices or something. I think.
Standards and
Yeah.
practices, yeah.
Every time somebody interacts with her is just a joy. It is so they're just so funny. The when they do the Spartacus thing, but it's I'm Satan, and Gilda Radner in that, her line delivery is incredible. Like, we haven't brought up any of like the female cast, but as far as like
Rachel.
I meant the comedians.
Only reason because I actually don't know them as well, and I couldn't name you which one did what.
That's kind of part of the problem too with me. But I know Gilda Radner, but all every like they're all great. They all like I said, the I'm Satan scene is hilarious.
Zipper dinner.
Yeah, what's clam diving? It's for diving for mollusks, I believe.
The act of harvesting mollusks. I want to actually bring up one other thing. And it kind of makes me wonder if obviously there's not many things you can name this movie. And along with the next movie I'm about to bring up, but I'm wondering if the fact that they're named the same thing might have something to do with the actor involved in the first one. There's another movie that has to do with Saturday Night Live that I absolutely love. If you've not seen it, you should watch it. It's a documentary called Saturday Night, starring James Franco.
Oh, no.
Kind of starring James Franco. He's just what it is. It's worth a watch.
I know what you're talking about.
To watch it, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's a week at SNL. James Franco is the host. It's a week at SNL behind the scenes. You watch what he goes through. You watch them sit down and pitch to him. You watch the actors or the writers at night writing the sketches, coming up with recordings, building sets. The round table where they read the scripts. If you enjoyed this, you'll love that. I mean, honestly, I just love that in general because I like SNL, and it's really fun to watch. But I'm wondering if it's called Saturday Night. This one's called Saturday Night also, just because they're like, just for Google purposes,
Well, this was the first time I ever knew that it was originally just called Saturday Night.
Same.
Like that, I didn't know that was the live was added. I think 3 to 5 years in.
I didn't know that either.
Just interesting. I because they talked about it being live so much that eventually they were like, just put it in the name. They'd be like, Saturday Night. Is that the live one, or is that? No, I don't think it's the live one.
Maybe it's just because I've heard that's what it's been my whole life. But like, it does. Saturday Night feels too. Saturday Night what? What do you mean? What's going on? Saturday Night Live. Oh, it does feel like like I feel Saturday Night. I feel like I'm wandering around aimlessly.
Lose the.
Lose the. Yeah. Facebook add live. But
right.
It's a good movie. I enjoy it.
Yeah, Josh, you got
ratings.
Before we move on, let's do our ratings. Chad?
Maybe a shocker, but I'm gonna go with a 4.5.
Well, I'll just roll right in because I'm also going to give it a 4.5.
Part of me wanted to give it a 4, but I don't have a reason why. I can't give it a 4.5, so I'll give it a 4.5.
All right, this is the first one we all agree with, which is fun.
Oh yeah, the one last thing that I was going to make a joke about peer pressure and the kid who is looking for John Belushi and meets the writers and he gets stoned with them. It's like instant. It just instantly is like, okay, fine, I'll take a puff, and then it just fucks up his life.
I love it when they ask
the
him.
Scene of them.
Have you seen John? Yeah, just yesterday. No, I mean like John recently. You know, like
that whole scene though where he's in the room after having the panic attack, and there's like now a group of like 10 people outside the door trying to talk him down. And I think it's Dan Aykroyd who does the like, all right, let me make sure your face is all right. He opens the door. You're all right. Like,
and then when they have Dan Aykroyd, he's the resident, trip sitter or whatever. He comes in to get to massage Carlin's jaw. So,
yeah. I guess that leads in the one other thing I wanted to point out. Watching that first episode, Carlin sucked. Like, obviously, Carlin's great. He's one of the all-time greats, and his legacy of comedy that has, like, it cemented the ability that his jokes still hold up and are still relevant and politically accurate decades later is obviously, like, not to take anything away from him. The fact that they were like, all right, you have to do a clean couple segments. It's just like watching it, I was like, no, be funny, George. Be funny in the comedy. Because it wasn't like monologues. It was just straight up. Like, he went up, he did comedy, and then cut to someone else. And they did.
That's what they normally, I feel like that's what comedians normally will go up there and they'll do a bit. Whereas the other.
Right, but here it wasn't even like. But here it wasn't even like mildly disguised as a monologue. It was just like straight up stand up immediately.
Yeah.
No, like, happy to be here. All that. Just like. So football is different than baseball.
Like, you just cut into a stand-up special randomly.
Yeah. And it was like, I know how good he is, which is why it's like we talked about with Ron Funches, where I'm like, oh no. This is clearly it didn't derail his career or anything. He did pretty all right after that show aired. But yeah, just something else to take note of. So we're gonna jump into another little segment, a little game here. Where I saw a video from a YouTube channel called Quiz Beef. Great name. And they have a video where they go every year from 1975 to 1975 to 2025. And they give you 4 of the biggest movies of that year. And the goal is you pick one movie to save and the other 3 are wiped forever. Just never existed. So we're going to go through. We'll go in order. We'll do a few today. Maybe we'll do a few, every couple episodes we'll do a few more. Starting in 1975, the 4 movies we have are Jaws, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's not fair. Not fair at all. Oh, that's not right.
At first, I was like pretty easy. Then we got to the 4th one, and I was like,
I have to go. Sadly, I got to go Jaws just because of what it did for movie, like the movie going experience. It was what I believe it was the first film that got a countrywide release. Before that, I believe they used to do. It was like the big cities would get it, and it would move throughout over the weeks. It would move to smaller cities. But that was one of the first ones that was like just everyone got it at once. So I think
which is extra crazy to think about when they had like actual film reels that they mass produced the film reels that much, because that was why it worked that way, because they only had so many reels that they would be like, all right, major markets, then we'll spread them out. But yeah, the fact that they were like, we're just making 1 billion of these and everyone across the country is going to see it is crazy.
No, yeah. So the Holy Grail is a comedy classic and a favorite. The reason I went with Jaws is simply because of the reason I gave, but also because Monty Python has, a lot of classic comedy. So
yeah,
it wouldn't affect their career too much in that regard.
I'm also going Jaws. Frankly, I just like it more. I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but Jaws is just Jaws. As someone who my biggest fear is the ocean, that movie scared the hell out of me. Although I'm weirdly not afraid of sharks, it still was crazy. It's so good.
I had blue carpet as a child, and that to me was enough to be like, ocean, I'm scared. Don't touch the ground. Like, for lava, Jaws is under my bed. Like there was like it wasn't
I
like
wish the floor was lava.
it wasn't like a
That'd be an
strong,
upgrade for me.
I was like probably 5 or 6. It wasn't like the strong, like, oh my God, I know it. But it was like, I'm just going to be cautious. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to just jump on the ground. Like, like it's not the ocean, like for sure. Like, it's a
Genuinely,
non-zero.
when I was a kid, I had this irrational fear, and it was like genuine to where it would like stress me out for days on end that I would just suddenly be in the ocean. Like I would like black out and wake up in the middle of the ocean. And that was like a real fear for years. And I'm like, maybe there's something psychological I should have got figured out, but I just let that go unchecked.
That only brings up questions for me.
Yeah. Chad, what about you? What do you got here?
I'm gonna go with the Holy Grail. I think it's more rewatchable for me. There's things I quote all the time from that. It's just I don't know. I think I get Jaws as a better movie, a more important movie, but I'm going to be selfish and pick the one I want to watch more.
I like it.
That's how you should play it. Okay, 1976. We have Rocky, Taxi Driver, The Outlaw Josie Wales, and Carrie. This one's much easier for me with Rocky. I love Taxi Driver. I like Carrie. I've never seen The Outlaw Josie Wales, but Rocky's Rocky, so yeah.
That's tough just because I don't feel it's fair doing this. I actually haven't seen Carrie or the Josie Whale one, so I actually kind of don't know if I really should answer this one. But I guess I'd go. I'll go Rocky. I don't think I'm a crazy big fan of either Rocky or Taxi Driver. I don't, but not in a way that I dislike them. But they weren't like they're those good movies, but not like something that I was like this. This resonates with me.
Yeah, so I've only actually seen Rocky, so I'm actually gonna pick Carrie because I'm more. I think that's it'd be higher up on my I want to watch this list. So
you've seen Rocky, you haven't seen the other one, but you're like, I'd rather take a gamble on this one I've not seen. Rocky's not even worth existing from what I've seen. This will at least force me to watch this one.
Yeah.
I like it.
So this one, again, like, and if there's some where it's like we haven't seen 3 out of 4, we can just skip it and move on. 1997, Smokey and the Bandit, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, The Spy Who Loved Me, and then Star Wars: A New Hope.
The Spy Who Loved Me? Let me look up that real quick.
I didn't know A New Hope came out in 97.
Oh, that's a Bond film. I've not seen a lot of Bond films myself.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen Smokey and the Bandit, Close Encounters, and Star Wars, and I'm picking Star Wars.
Oh, wait, which Star Wars is it?
Oh, the original.
Oh, A New Hope. Okay. I really see. I feel like there's a problem. The problem I have with this is there's a part of me that's like, am I supposed to be just like pick your favorite movie, pick the best movie? Because there's a part of me that's like, what are the ramifications?
I'm just picking my favorite. Like that's how I'm doing it.
Like
I'm just going with I like these ones the most.
Part of me is like, I'm like, if I don't choose Star Wars, what am I doing to the world?
Get existential about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little maybe too deep on these ones, but
while you think I'm just gonna say I'll take the 97 version of Star Wars. So
yeah, specifically that OG original cut.
Yeah,
I'm just to do something different because obviously Star Wars is Star Wars, so I'm not gonna like that's obviously such a given, but I'll go just be different. I'll go Third Encounters of Encounters of the Third Kind.
Third Encounters of the Close Kind.
close third. I'll go close third.
There's
the next
third base encounters of
that just reminds me of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, the movies that they make there, the messed up titles. That would be one of those, but
so next 78, we'll just do like 5. We'll say, and go from there.
Okay.
So 78, the original Halloween, the original Superman, Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, or Grease. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Christopher Reeve's Superman is still one of my like top 5 favorite superhero movies. I think it is so unbelievably good. I think I do prefer the 2025 Superman. Just a part of it's not fair because of the advancements we've made in technology and everything. But man, Christopher Reeve's Superman is just it's hard to beat. He's so good. He embodies the character so good, and the movie's awesome around it. I watched it like last year before seeing the new Superman, and it's still great.
What was the third movie?
The third movie was Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
I'm gonna have to go with I forgot what was the number 4 again? I'm sorry, what was number 4?
Grease.
Grease. I'm gonna go with Grease. I was really into Grease when I was a kid. I really loved the movie Grease. I think it's the reason I'm not picking Cheech and Chong I wasn't crazy about. So I'm not gonna pick Cheech and Chong. The reason I'm not gonna pick Halloween or Superman, 2 reasons. Number 1, both those movies are franchises that will never die and are continually coming back. So it's not like we're losing any movies. But I think, like I said, to go into my actual thing, I'm wondering that if we somehow keep Christopher Reeves from being Superman, if he's not able to afford the
paralyzed.
He doesn't
maybe
have
you've done
money.
him a favor.
He ain't got horse money to be horsing around. You know what I mean? Do we end up getting more movies out of Christopher Reeve that are better than Superman? I don't know. That's me. Are we saving a life here? But by getting rid of a blockbuster. Yeah. Also, it's Grease Lightning.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Grease also because that's my mom's second favorite movie. And I don't want to make her sad.
Classy woman.
Yeah. And just that, just an aside, I watched Grease on a plane about 3-4 months ago. And I watched all of it with no sound because I didn't have headphones that would connect to the screen. So
let me watch Grease without the best part of Grease.
They say a good
just the bad acting.
They say a good movie, you should be able to tell what's happening with the sound off. I don't know if that works for a musical.
Nope.
For a musical, I imagine that's very confusing. Well, they're excited about something.
Yeah, but seeing that with back then 2025 eyes, it is very problematic. But we'll move on.
One of my favorite old college humor sketches was they were mocking Grease, and it was that initial song, the Summer Days or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the line where the guys go, tell me more, did she put up a fight? And the one guy goes, wait, what? Wait, did she what? Why were you continuing? What was going on? And then it keeps cutting back, and the guys just keep saying more and more fucked up stuff. And there's only one guy in the group who every time is like, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
What do you mean? It's I will listen. I actually listen. I have a few of the songs on my phone. I will listen to even like I've listened to them in the past year. But what I love about the film that we continue to do, we didn't do. I feel like we continue to do it. It wasn't as severe, but it's when you look back now on Grease, it just makes it so much more like just funny that like. And these are high schoolers.
Yep.
Yes, they've got crows. Yes, they're wrinkling. Yes, they're starting to wrinkle. Yes, some of them their hair is thinning. But these are high schoolers. Grease is. When I was a kid, I really wanted a leather jacket. When I was a kid, I was like between 4 and 6. I wanted a leather jacket so bad. I want to be Danny Zuko so bad, and my mother did not want me. I don't know if I ever communicated clearly enough what I wanted, or if it was just like little bits of like that was like hinting at like I knew what I wanted. I don't know if I ever said it out loud, but like I was definitely, if you were paying attention, it was like leather jacket. I love
just think where you could have been today had you gotten that leather jacket.
I used to be a big piece of shit. Slick back hair, live for Friday night, or live for New Year's Eve.
Chad, which one did you pick?
Grease.
Okay. The original Mad Max, the original Alien, Apocalypse Now, and for some reason they have Rocky 2 here, which feels redundant. Again, another easy one for me. Alien rules. It's so good. One of the best monster designs of all time. A franchise that even at its worst, I still enjoy because I'm still watching an alien fuck stuff up. And that's awesome.
I've actually only seen, I think, Alien from this group. I've seen bits of Apocalypse Now. So it's going to be weird when I pick Apocalypse Now. Because it's just because I just feel like it should deserve something for being as good as it was and being standalone, whereas Alien went on to just keep going. I've heard the story. I don't know how true it is, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't doubt it. The story of how the pitch for Alien, the sequel, Aliens, was apparently James Cameron was in the pitching office and had Alien written on the board, and then his pitch was he added an S. I don't know.
That's not even the best part. Is he added an S and then drew 2 lines through it, making it a $sign.
Oh, that's what.
And
that's
that
what
was his the rumor,
like
the legend surrounding the movie. At least
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it, especially just considering like James Cameron owns like 2 or 3 of like the biggest blockbusters of all time, or not owns, but like is the
made him
created. Yeah.
For some reason, I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick. For some reason, it's making me think of the Titan submarine, the submersible. And I was arguing with Baron with this the other day. I was like, if you can believe that, I was saying, I think they went down like 8 to 13 times or something. I consider that a success. I feel like no one's focusing on how much easier it is to get down there than we think it is. Like they went down there like almost a dozen times, and if they'd followed probably any of the advice or directions from any of the people being like, fix this, they probably would still be doing it. Who knows how long they'd be going. I don't think we're realizing that we can get down there. Anyway, that's my TED talk.
Yeah. We'll just do one more here. But so 1980, I think this one's actually very good. Raging Bull, The Shining, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Blues Brothers.
I gotta go Empire Strikes Back on this one. One of the best sequels of all time. A continuation to to follow up what he did with A New Hope, to follow that up and to do even bigger, I think is impressive. I was outside of the opening shot, I'm not a fan of Raging Bull. It's I think it's I'm just not a fan of it. I guess that's just me. What were the other 2 movies? I forget.
The other 2 were The Shining and The Blues Brothers.
Shining. The Blues Brothers. Like I said, it's a good movie. It's not something that like I've maybe seen it once or twice, but it's not a movie that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't even say it's a movie that I'm like, I want to show someone this movie, for me at least. And then The Shining. Like I said, there's already a second Shining, so there's another Shining, so we can just watch that Shining.
Yeah, you watched it and you apparently loved it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I would say it's a little more focused on like the psychology of the father and like him truly like his frustration building and unraveling, and less about like it's less of a spiritual or mystical, like it's less of a mystery what's causing it. It's more like, wow, this guy he's not handling his family well. He's not doing what but anyway, that's me.
I'll go Empire too.
I have to go Empire. I'd love to go Shining because I love it, but sorry, Chad, what was your reasoning?
I don't know, Star Wars. I love the original trilogy, Star Wars. So.
I won't choose The Shining because I still can't understand whether or not he was in the hotel the whole time or not. I still when when they show Jack Nicholson in the picture at the end of it, I'm like, I don't know anything now. I know even less now than what I knew before.
When someone returns my letters explaining the movie,
I've got questions for Kubrick, and when he gets back to me, then I'll rethink it.
And I think the Star Wars movies are also important. Like, they've helped shape the movies that we have today, not just in terms of like the sort of reaches they took and the ambitiousness of it, but also like the fact that Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct this movie but couldn't because Lucas got kicked out of the Directors Guild because he refused to put the credits at the beginning of the movie. And now here we are that there's not a movie where the credits aren't at the end. And like the way he has fully changed the landscape of how that works, probably to the detriment of a lot of people who work on movies who no one sticks around to see your name in the credits. But yeah, so that'll end the segment for today.
With short attention spans, he did amazing things. I will say I want to make an argument against Empire real quick. The argument is, I wonder if it didn't succeed or if it didn't exist, how that would change the landscape of franchises, cinematic universes, sequels, and just reusing, having to going back to, known IP. Anyway, this is my thoughts on it.
The member berries argument.
Remember? Remember Star Wars? Remember when there weren't so many Mexicans? It's such a good voice they have too for them.
So I guess with that, all there's left to do is pick our movie for next month here.
Next month?
Next month. Oh my gosh, next week. Okay. So I have. Let's see.
I just had a little mini panic attack that I was up for this week. I was like, uh-oh. It's like I didn't.
So I, while we were doing one of those bits there, I was choosing my movie questions by rolling dice in my fancy box of doom. Just shouting that out. And I'm giving you a lot of questions. I'm giving you 5 questions this week. Okay.
Okay.
Because I accidentally rolled too many dice, and I wasn't paying attention. I like rolling dice. It's fun to do. Okay. So my questions. The movie that impressed me the most, despite having an incredibly simple premise that inspired me as a wannabe writer. The next one is the movie that was the biggest surprise of the last 5 years. A movie I wish would have set a bigger trend. A movie I'm desperate for more of, even with a different cast. And then my favorite piece of media.
Those are some good ones. Before we pick one, can I guess?
Yeah.
One of them? The one where you want more, even a different cast. Knives Out?
No.
Okay, just curious. Those are good ones.
I'm leaning towards the first one.
Which is?
The movie that impressed me the most, despite its simple premise that inspired me as a wannabe writer.
The other, I feel like which one? There was one that was the biggest surprise of the last 5 years, or what was the other one after that one?
That was the movie I wish would have set a bigger trend.
I'm very interested in the bigger trend one, but the first one's not Snowpiercer, is it?
No.
I don't know why I thought it was Snowpiercer, but let's go with the first one then. I'll agree with Chad. I'm interested in that one enough too.
Okay.
I just don't like you guys don't reveal them for all of them at the end. It's like I don't need that. I don't need.
Well,
this.
that's because I reuse them. Like this one, I chose a week ago. Well, I mean, this was I think the first time I posed questions. This was my answer or one of them, and it didn't get picked. And the dice have decided to ask again. So this movie. Let me pull up the year just so I can give the correct info.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yes.
I had to see that against my will, and yeah.
We all
worse. I saw it of my own will. because I wanted to know what everyone was talking about, and boy, was I bummed out.
What's in the cup?
So the movie I'm picking, and again, that prompt was a movie that inspired me, despite its simple premise, and inspired me as a wannabe writer, is a Latvian animated movie from 2024 called Flow.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
It is just the basic premise. I sent the poster in our chat. It is you follow a cat as the world floods around it.
Yes, I've heard nothing but good
That's right. I
things
just saw
about
it when I went to go watch Saturday night. I watched it on my one buddy lets me share his Vudu where he's got all his movies, whatever. And I saw that that title right now, not next, right next to it, but right when I was scrolling. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I took Lori to see this. I sort of made it where I just told her we're seeing a movie, didn't tell her what it was. One note I'll give, it was Lori, myself, and two other people who were sitting like a row or two behind us in a small theater because it was a very limited release. This movie starts. They play the studio credit. They play the second studio credit. They play the third studio credit. They play the fourth studio credit. They play the fifth and sixth studio credit, and I start looking around like, what is going on? They play the eighth, ninth, and 10th studio credit, and the guy behind me goes, bro, what the fuck? At a certain point, I think everyone in Latvia worked on this movie. There are so many studio credits at the beginning of this movie.
So what you're saying is I should watch the Cinema Sims.
Yeah. But yeah, it's phenomenal. I really love this movie. It's just so much fun. The animation is stunning. And yeah, the things it's able to do, despite some limitations that I'm not going to give any more insight or anything.
Well, it's a cat.
Yeah. It's so good. I love it so much, and I'm excited
Is it a
to talk
silent
about
film?
it in a week. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Okay. I'm not gonna, I won't let you. I will be, so you're going to remain silent on that.
Oh shit.
Well.
Meow.
Damn it. Listen now.
So yeah, that will conclude it for this week's episode of CineMinistries, episode 7. We look forward to seeing you all in episode 8 next week, where you can see if we ate in our review of Flow.
Nailed it.
Yeah. You can Pokemon Go to the ball.
We didn't introduce ourselves again. Our names are on the screen. So signing off, I've been Josh.
Brennan.
I've been Chad.
And we will see you next week.